Hi, I'm Pam Hayes from Hayes Sewing Machine Company. Welcome back to our creative videos, and today we're going to be talking about walking feet. So if you tend to quilt or just work with difficult fabrics like corduroys or velvets that tend to kind of shift on you, no matter how carefully you've pinned it, by the time you get to the end of the seam, it's grown a little bit, a walking foot will help you. And there's quite a few different walking feet available, and it will vary from machine to machine. So what we're going to be talking about first is baby lock walking feet. So if you take a look, they have a basic walking foot. This one here, it is a low bar walking foot. And when we open this guy up, there you go. You're going to notice it has a bar that is going to be moving up and down. This needs to go around the shaft where you tighten for your needle. You'll notice on the other side, it has where it's physically going to be attached to your machine. So think about it that if you have a foot like what I have on my machine, you'll notice that most of the time the shaft or the shank stays on the machine, and all we do is we change the bottom of the foot. Well, look at the size difference. Where you have to actually, on this one, take the metal piece off, and you'll notice there's a screw right there. So we're going to loosen that, and then this piece comes off. And then when you take a look, again, see the bar, okay, the little shaft, you'll see how it has a U-shaped piece. So you're going to come from the back, slide it on, make sure you get it over.
Can you tilt the machine?
Is that a better angle?
I think it's better.
Okay. So we're going to make sure the screw is loose enough. Alrighty. And then we're going to tighten the screw back down. You can hand tighten it to a certain point, and then I always take my screwdriver and give it a little extra tweak. Okay.
Tilt the machine back so that you can see the and point out the fork.
So if you take a look, there's that shaft I was telling you about that you tighten for changing your needle, and then you'll see that the fork is around the piece. Okay. And then you're going to notice, again, it's wrapped around the shaft, and then the screw is going to be tightened. So at this point, we are ready to use this. So we're going to go, and if I am lining it up, we're going to be stitching in the ditch. If you are quilting, I tend to go a little longer for my straight stitch. So instead of being at 2.5, I'm going to go to 3. And then I want to line this up, put my glasses on so I can actually see. Oh, there's a quilt in front of me. There you go. So we're going to line this up, and we're just going to stitch down, and you can take a look that the center section has little feet that are moving through, and I go at a nice kind of medium speed. I am definitely not my normal sewing of foot to the floor, vibrate everything off the table. And then we're just going to go and work our way down. And it's just that simple. When I'm all done, I'm just going to pull this out. And you can take a look. You'll see how we're right in the well. You'll notice one side, because it has the seam allowance underneath of it, it's going to be a little taller. And the other one is a little bit flatter. Try to get it on the flat side if possible, but whatever you do, try to be consistent. Okay. Now, if you do a lot of work with a walking foot, this is a basic generic kind of foot that is nice if you do occasional quilts. Perfect. Say though you want a little bit more robust and you want options of different soles for the bottom. They have a Deluxe walking foot, and this one's going to have multiple sections to it. So multiple sections being different soles, just like your regular sewing machine would have. So when we open this up, we're going to take a look. Ooh, and look at that. We have a whole bunch of nice gadgets. So you'll notice, first of all, this walking foot is a little beefier. So if you know you do quite a bit of walking foot work, consider getting this. You'll notice, same piece. Can you notice that it has that same arm going around, and then on the other side you see the same area that you're going to attach it. You'll also notice though on this one, it has different soles. Okay, this one has a guide. So this one would be really nice. When I was doing that stitching in the ditch on the sample I just did, I could have run the guide right along the seam and it would help keep me straight. So it keeps me honest. All right, now this one here, you'll also notice that this one is open.
Got a groove. Open is on the foot.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. You'll notice that it just is going to have a groove for you. As my sister was pointing out, the one that has the openness to it is already on there. Now, you'll also notice this one has guides that you can attach. So, if you notice on the back, you'll see there's a little hole. And look at that. This little guide will go right over top. And then we have guides that will go in. All right, so it's going to go in the back. And this big screw on the back is where you would adjust where you want it to be, and then you tighten it. It has a left and a right guide, but you can't use them both at the same time. So you're going to do one or the other, okay? So you have your left guide and you have your right guide. Just depends on where you're trying to line it up. But you see how, again, this guy comes with those. Now, to change the bottom of the foot, you have a screwdriver that comes with, and it's well encased in the styrofoam. Okay, you'll see where it says baby lock, you'll see there's a screw right there. You then take said screw, loosen it, and just takes a little bit of a wiggle, and the foot comes off. I'm going to put the one that has the guide on there so you can take a look. Okay, so what I'm looking for, I want to line it up here, so that is lined up, and then the two are lined up on this side. And then once you have it lined up, then tighten the screw. The screw you're simply going to loosen. Do not take the screw out. There's no necessity of that. All right, so take a look at this one. It's going to have a nice guide. So when I line it up, I can run my guide down the seam. Okay, So that is one. It's called the Deluxe. Another one that you have that's a kind of a new one that is out. And this one is designed to go backwards and forwards. Backwards and forwards. So with the backwards and forwards one, so if you do a lot of decorative stitch, say feather stitching and things like that, the physical stitch goes backwards and forwards. I'm not just talking reverse, okay? They have this metal guy. And look at him. He's for the hardcore. That is metal. That is secure. Same thing. You'll notice how it has the attachment. And you'll notice that it has, again, the bar that the piece is going to go through. This one will have open as well as the closed. What's nice with this one, just snaps off. So if your hands aren't good and you thought, trying to be able to do the snapping, unscrewing that other one that I showed you, you just don't think it's going to be good for you, consider this one. This one will do a nice job. Alrighty, now some baby lock models will take what we call dual feed. I call this the walking foot on steroids. Okay, look at this puppy. What's nice with this one is you still notice that you have your piece that you attach, but there's no fork. So if you don't like the idea of using, having to put the fork over top, on this one it doesn't have it. But look at that. You gotta plug it in. You gotta let the machine know, and there's a hole in the back, a plug socket that this will go into. Now, same thing as the walking foot I just showed you, the bottom pieces come off. Okay, so you have something that will help you get 1/4 of an inch. So say you wanted to stitch 1/4 of an inch in, and when you're going around your blocks, perfect. It's also really good for binding as well. I'm getting coached here. All right, you have guides, a left and then there's a right guide as well. But you look at this one and you think, well, Pam, where does it go? Where is the guide going to go? I'm happy you asked. What's cool with this guy, it has 2 parts. So we have our guide, and then we have the gidget. And it's a tiny little gidget, I'm sorry, but it's very tiny. Okay. What's going to happen, there are 2 screws on either side. All right, 2 screws. And then you look at the top of the foot, and you're like, where does it go? Well, you read the instructions, but it's going to basically go on the top. The part that's closest to the plastic bit. So let me just screw this on for you so you can see. Now, once I have this on here, I leave it. There's no need to take it on, take it off. So, can you see where it is now? See how instead of and it's the flat metal piece, and there you go. So can you see how we're going to have that lined up? But this piece, I just leave on there. I don't bother taking it on and off my dual feed foot. It's not going to get in the way of anything. And then you can just pull out the guide. So remember, you have a right guide and a left guide. Both of them are available. Now, it's also going to give you an open toe. Okay, this is an open toe. And then you have basically a stitch in the ditch guide as well. All right, so that is the baby lock. Now if you're taking a look and you're thinking, oh, which walking foot would work, can I use that dual feed foot, check in your book. Check in your book, shoot us an email. If you're local, stop by, give us a call. The only thing that we ask is that you know what model you have, and also remember in your book, under additional or optional accessories, a lot of times they'll list what is an optional accessory, okay? Or still, if in doubt, and you're like me, where did I put my book? Babylock.com, and then a lot of times they'll have an online manual for you to do. Okay, now we're going to switch companies. I'm just going to scooch all of my stuff over. We're going to go and we're going to work with now the Bernina. So I'm just going to move this out of my way. Alrighty. Now, next one. We have the Bernina walking foot. You see that it was going to have multiple sections to it, multiple parts, and it's kind of giving you the idea of take a look at the picture, leather, things like that. That's what you're going to work with. Now, when you're working with the Bernina walking foot, it comes with a lot of nice things. It's going to be similar to the Baby Lock walking foot I showed you in the fact that if you want to change any section, you're going to loosen the screw on the side. Again, you'll loosen it. There's no need to take it out, and it just wiggles off. If we want to work with that stitch in the ditch foot, we're just going to snap this puppy on. Really should put my glasses on. There's holes there. Oh, there you go. There's holes there. All right, we have it lined up, and we're going to tighten. So there's the one that has the guide. Now, how do I put this guy onto my machine? So if I take, I don't have my foot on, you'll notice up at the top, and I know it's in black, so it's kind of hard to see, there is an opening right there. So you'll see there's a niche cut out. All right, that's going to be very helpful to you. And then you'll notice it also has the arm. Again, I take it from the back, I line it up, and then that cone, that Bernina cone, just kind of goes into that slit, and ta-da! So, no big deal. Now, why would I want to work with that stitch in the ditch guide? Is this. It's super simple. And when I line this guy up, so if you take a look, I'm just increasing my length of stitch a little bit. And you take a look that my guide is right in that well. So we're going to take, and we're just going to follow it down. So am I looking at the needle? Nope. I'm taking it and I'm just looking right where my guide is. That's my focus. And as long as you keep the guide straight, you're good. All right. You'll notice just nice and straight.
Hold on for a second. We gotta get you focused.
Okay. So it's just nice and straight going all the way across. Now, you will also have left and right guides for this one. This is the attachment. It goes on the back. You then take your guide, you slide it in, and then you tighten it down. And then there you go. A bit redundant. I don't think I would have this sole with a guide, but you can if you want to. Okay. Well, hopefully this information helps you a little bit. Our goal today was to show you some different options. Again, as with the Baby Lock, certain models take certain walking feet for the Berninas as well. Again, if you don't know what walking foot would be applicable, drop us an email, give us a call, let us help you in whatever way we can. So, hopefully all of this information is going to help you out. And remember, have fun. Sewing is supposed to be fun.